Have you ever stopped to ponder when is enough truly enough? It's an intriguing question, isn't it? The concept of enough is highly subjective, varying vastly from person to person, from situation to situation. For some, a small apartment with the bare necessities is enough. For others, a mansion with all the luxuries is not. In our consumer-driven society, we are often pushed towards always wanting more. Bigger homes, faster cars, the latest gadgets, trendier clothes, the list goes on. But let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves, is this constant yearning for more really necessary for happiness? Could it be that this relentless pursuit is actually robbing us of our contentment? What if the key to our satisfaction, to our happiness, lies not in the more, but in the enough? Let's explore this thought-provoking idea. What if the secret to satisfaction and happiness is realizing that you already have enough? Let's delve into the concept of enough and why it holds such a pivotal role in our lives. When we talk about enough, our minds often dart to material possessions. We think about the number of cars in our driveway, the size of our house, the brand of our clothes. We consider whether we have enough to compare favorably to our neighbors, our colleagues, our friends. But enough isn't just about the physical things we can touch and see. It's also about the intangible aspects of our lives. Think about time. How often do we lament that there just aren't enough hours in the day? Or relationships, do we have enough friends, enough love, enough connection, and what about experiences? Have we traveled enough, learned enough, laughed enough? You see, enough is a concept that permeates every facet of our lives. But here's the tricky thing about enough. It's subjective. What's enough for one person might be woefully inadequate for another. And yet so often we let society dictate what enough should look like. We allow external pressures and expectations to shape our perception of what we need to be happy, to be successful, to be complete. But imagine if we could define our own enough. If we could step away from the noise and the pressure and the comparisons and decide for ourselves what we truly need. What if we could look at our lives and say without hesitation, this is enough for me? You see, enough isn't about reaching a certain level of possessions or achievements. It's about finding contentment in where we are right now, with what we have right now. It's about recognizing the value in our current experiences, relationships, and belongings. Realizing what's enough for you can be the key to unlocking a more contented and fulfilling life. Why is understanding our personal enough so crucial to our overall well-being? Our society often pushes us towards a constant pursuit of more. More money, more possessions, more achievements. It's a never-ending chase that can leave us feeling exhausted, unsatisfied, and even anxious. But when we take a step back and ask ourselves, what is enough for me? We can start to shift our perspective and our priorities. The desire for more can have a profound impact on our mental health. It can lead to feelings of inadequacy, stress, and even depression. Always wanting more means we're never truly satisfied with what we have, and that can create a constant state of dissatisfaction and unhappiness. But when we understand our personal enough, we can start to appreciate what we have rather than always longing for what we don't. The constant pursuit of more can also strain our relationships. It can make us value things over people and success over connection. It can make us feel like we're always competing rather than collaborating and supporting each other. But when we recognize our enough, we can start to focus more on our relationships and less on our possessions. Understanding our enough can lead to a sense of contentment and gratitude. It can help us to appreciate the things we have rather than always striving for the things we don't. It can help us to feel satisfied with our lives as they are rather than constantly feeling like we need to achieve more or acquire more. Identifying our enough can also reduce stress and anxiety. When we're not constantly striving for more, we can relax and enjoy the present moment. We can stop comparing ourselves to others and start appreciating our own unique journey. By identifying and embracing our enough, we can step off the never-ending treadmill of more and start living a life of satisfaction and contentment. It's not about settling, but about recognizing what truly matters to us, what truly brings us joy and fulfillment, and focusing on that. Because, in the end, isn't that what life is really all about? How can recognizing our enough transform our lives? This question carries a world of possibilities within it. Let's delve into it, shall we? When we understand our enough, it's like finding a compass in a forest. Suddenly we have direction and clarity. For instance, consider your spending habits. When you know what's enough for you, you stop chasing after every shiny new thing that catches your eye. You start to see value, not in what you could own, but in what you already have. You begin to appreciate the simplicity of less, rather than the complexity of more. This shift in perspective can lead to financial freedom and peace of mind. Now, let's take relationships. Recognizing your enough in relationships means understanding what you need from others, and what you can give in return. It's about setting boundaries and knowing when to say no. It's about appreciating the people in your life for who they are, rather than who you want them to be. This understanding can lead to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. And what about personal growth? When we know our enough, we stop comparing ourselves to others. We start to measure success by our own standards, not someone else's. We focus on our journey, our progress, our growth. This can lead to increased self-esteem and a deeper sense of satisfaction. Recognizing our enough does not mean settling for less. It means understanding our needs, our wants, and our limits. It's about finding balance and harmony in our lives. It's about focusing on the things that truly matter. And when we do that, we open up the potential for personal freedom and happiness. We start to live more authentically, more purposefully. The power of enough is transformative. It's like a key that unlocks a door to a more meaningful life. The door is there, waiting for us. All we need to do is find our enough, turn the key, and step through. Embracing your enough can be a powerful catalyst for positive change in your life. So, how can we discover what's enough for us? This is a question that requires introspection and self-awareness. It's not about comparing yourself to others or trying to fit into societal standards. It's about understanding what truly brings you joy, satisfaction, and peace. To find your enough, you might consider a few practical strategies. First, self-reflection. This involves taking the time to really sit with yourself and your thoughts. Try to understand what makes you happy, what makes you feel content, and what doesn't. What are the things you can't live without? And what are the things you can? This isn't a one-time exercise, it's a continuous process of self-discovery and growth. Another strategy is gratitude journaling. By writing down what you're grateful for each day, you become more aware of the blessings you already have. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a call from a friend, or a walk in the park. The more you practice gratitude, the more you realize that you already have so much. Mindful consumption can also be a powerful tool. It means being fully present and intentional with your consumption. Whether it's food, media, or material possessions, ask yourself, do I really need this? Does it add value to my life? Or does it just clutter and complicate things? Lastly, consider your values. What matters most to you? Is it family, creativity, freedom, adventure? Aligning your life with your values can help you feel more fulfilled and less desirous of the things that don't truly matter. Remember, finding your enough is not about deprivation or living in scarcity. It's about living in abundance, but an abundance of the things that truly matter to you. It's about recognizing that you already have so much, and that perhaps you already have enough. Finding your enough is a personal journey, but one that can lead to a profound shift in perspective and a more fulfilling life. As we wrap up, it's important to remember that enough is a personal concept. We've explored its meaning, delved into its importance, and experienced its power. It's not about what others have or what society tells us we should want. It's about understanding our own needs, desires, and limitations. We've seen that defining enough can bring about clarity of thought, contentment, and even a sense of liberation. It's a tool that allows us to step off the relentless treadmill of more and step into a life that is balanced, fulfilling, and uniquely ours. We've also discovered that finding our enough isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process of self-reflection and adjustment as we respond to the ebb and flow of life's circumstances. Remember, the journey to finding your enough is a journey to finding your true happiness. It's a journey worth taking.